when I come back, we're going swimming. So, tell everybody thank you for them. Скажи, дякую.
Дякую.
Не, английский.
Thank you.
Thank you, thank you, что? Very much. Еще раз.
Thank you very much.
Thank you very much.
Thank you, guys. Future president of Ukraine right here. All right. Greetings, everyone, and welcome. Got a joint co-stream going on here with Prof. Curtis for the next hour or so. I'm coming in from Ukraine. He's still somewhere in the United States with the beautiful flags and the MAGA hat on. And tonight, not only are we going to update you guys with some news, a lot has unfolded today, big time. And we will talk about it. But also tonight, we are focused on what we call an impromptu, emergency type fundraiser that Zhenya and I will be hand delivering within a week or so. And we'll tell you all about it. In fact, tonight, I plan on giving you a behind the scenes look at how this unfolds. So it'll even be very cool for you to see, Prof. Zhenya would have been here with us tonight, but he has been at a kids camp. He's done 2 kids camps this summer. Well, actually in the last couple of weeks, that's why you haven't seen him with me. Two kids camps with refugee kids, kids who are the children of soldiers who have been killed, and the camp is done for free for them, where they get like up to 10 days at a certain river, a whole campsite, and games and events. It's incredible. So that's what's been going on. Welcome, Prof, and thank you to all your community and mine.
So somebody was just asking me about a fundraiser and what I should point them to. Now, they were talking about drones because the last thing we were talking about was drones. They figured I'd point them to. And I was just thinking, oh, well, I could probably point them over. And then I got this thing from you saying, hey, we're doing this emergency fundraiser. I'm like, but let's do it. Let's go.
So, well, let's
tell us
explain it.
what's going on.
Let's explain it right from the top. Professor Curtis and I, and he can speak more to this, we have done massive fundraisers with huge NAFO campaigns with drones. There it is right there. We have also just completed and soon to be further completed, as I'm with the drone pilots, another campaign partnering with Project Constantine, Professor Curtis, myself, and Zhenya, and 5 vampire drones. So basically, that was another $100,000 project. In addition to that, we've also partnered to do COSEVAC vehicles to the front. And that's back when Pete was requesting them and had that vision. And we thought we were going to do 1. We ended up doing 4. I mean, I don't know the exact totals, but we're just you and I together, way over $500,000 in helping Ukraine, way over that.
Right, it's got to be. I mean, just the COSEVAC was moving that
over 300.
Yeah. So we're probably to 700-ish or so between our various projects. We started with that project at Christmas, going, "Hey, maybe people."
I forgot about that one. You're right. You're right. I'm sorry.
And that was $100,000 campaign right there. We thought we were going to raise 10.
Now, this is not a mega project. So tonight, this is not about giving to a nonprofit and we're looking and asking you to go, write $1,000 check or anything like this. What we're looking for tonight is a lot of people doing a little. And if a lot of people do a little, then we're going to accomplish the goal. The goal tonight, and even tomorrow, I'll drop the link for about 24 hours because I don't work through PayPal typically, but it's the way I need to work on this one. Or you can go buy me a coffee because that's only a 5% take, where PayPal's basically is 0, because I'm purchasing and have been purchasing all of the things already. You're going to see every bit of it tonight, the story behind it. But the big deal about this, in case you're new to my community or Profs, is I will actually be delivering this stuff to the front, and we'll be leaving here in a few days when we get this all resolved and squared away. delivering this aid and other aid to the entire
If you're
front line.
watching on if you're watching on my channel, I pinned the link for the for Greg's PayPal, whatever,
Hmm.
where it's going to go to. And I did that. Like, don't give to me. I don't want to be the middleman. Like, give to
Yeah,
that link. With every fundraising project I've ever done, I've been like, here's the link for the thing, give it to that directly. Otherwise, the middlemanness is time and effort and
correct.
expense, because things come out a second time and a third. We don't want to do
Correct.
that.
We don't want
Okay,
any of
so
that.
tell us what the
And this
project's
is a
for.
quick
And
one. So the other thing is, if you partner with us on this, first of all, we thank you and the group. There's multiple groups it's going to, but this big emergency project, I call it it's an emergency because they're actually deploying on the 27th of August in 6 days. But we've been building on this for about 4 months to prepare it, but we did not realize they were deploying and the desperate needs that they have. We were kind of, there was possibility that there could even be a peace. I mean, in general, okay, and that would have changed what we do. Although none of us figured and
I'm,
estimate.
I'm a little suspect about that
Well,
peace
that's
deal
way
coming
from
forward
now, and
anytime
we'll talk
soon. But
about that in a little bit tonight. But we want to say thank you, and if you're new, you will also be seeing live what you have helped purchase delivered, and we will also be reporting from you with the soldiers, or
to you,
to you from the soldiers, and sometimes we can even arrange it if we can get into a very safe place that they'll even come on live with me and chat with you a little bit. So this is what we're doing. A couple of other things. This supports the Ukrainian economy because I'm and Jania, we buy everything inside Ukraine. It used to be when the war started year one, everything bought outside of Ukraine and pushed in, but we're actually buying inside of Ukraine. And for this particular one, the source that we're using is a place called Dnipro M. And my best friend here, of course, Zhenia's next level, but my best friend here, Prof just heard me talking to him. He's actually a purchasing agent. That's what he does for a career. And he has already worked on all of the paperwork and all the biggest discounts. And then this stuff that we're going to be purchasing, which we're going to show you, will have full warranties. If it gets broken, whatever, they can return it, exchange it, all of this. So we got a good
so tell
setup.
us about the needs
All
and what
right.
is going to be purchased, because we
Thank you.
got to get.
Keeping me straight here. Let's
Yeah.
go. Let's go. So we're going to shock the front line, and the front line we're going to shock is Sumy, Kharkiv, and Donetsk. Um, and it's all of those. But right here, you can see Starlinks, you can see tires, you can see drills, echo flows, power banks, you name it. And the soldier's there with his hand on it. This is what we're doing. So we're going to shock them. Now, who are we helping with this particular fundraiser? Now, we will be delivering in all frontline areas and in no particular order, but Kherson, we work in Mykolaiv as well. And then we'll be heading over to Dnipropetrovsk, Dnipro, Zaporizhia, down toward Orikhiv, very hot areas, Pokrovsk, Konstantinivka, Kramatorsk, and Konstantinivka is a problem right now, growing, and then up
Mhm.
behind Kupiansk, Kharkiv, and Sumy, and Chernigiv. So we help the whole front line. But this particular fundraiser tonight is for the 6th Special Purpose Rangers Regiment of Ukraine. These are the unit that has participated in the Kursk offensive out of Sumy, pushing up into Kursk in 24 and 25. They were in the Kharkiv offensive, pushing Russia back towards Vovchansk. And now a new regiment, a new group has been created. There are Special Forces Rangers. They are elite. And they are heading out on the 27th in 6 days, and they are in desperate need of really unique items. So let's start with how this works. So this comes to me. It comes to Zhenya, actually. And when we started working with this group, started 4 months ago, I was meeting with Leader. and Jania was meeting with the leader 4 months ago, and we were knowing about this deployment even then, this new group being formed. And then a week ago, Jania and I were coming back from a meeting and got a call. It was this group again with another leader, and was desperate. He said, "Man, our date changed. We're leaving on the 27th, or we have to be on position the 27th, and we're desperate." So we said, "Okay, we'll do the best we can. So send us a list." So what you have here in Ukrainian, and I put it in the blue there for some English, but is what is needed. And over on the right top of the column, it says um, how many we need, but it also says whatever is possible. So what we're looking at here, guys, is but up to 20 power banks that are 50,000 milliamps. We're looking at dry shower packs, 50 to 100. Thin sock sets because it's still very warm here in Ukraine, although we have heavy rain tonight. So up to 60 kits of thin socks. Then we get into tools that this unit needs. It's grinders with battery systems. Everything has to be battery. Grinders with battery systems, hammer drills with battery systems between 2 and 5, screwdriver systems with battery systems between 2 and 5. And you ask, well, what are they doing with all of this? They repair their equipment, they're digging trenches, they're building fortifications, all of that. MTAC plate carriers, they need thermal cups, military thermoses, military technical gloves, wet wipe packs, antibacterial. Yeah, of course, we'll be loading them up. They also need EcoFlows, 2 of those. But here in Ukraine, we buy Ukrainian. The Ukrainians like actually what is a unit called Era Power. That's what we did for the 28th on a fundraiser last time, and bought it in 24 hours and had it redelivered. 2 of those ratchet sets, these big ratchet sets with hard cases, 30-meter extension cord on rolls between 2 and 6, screwdriver sets, drill bit sets, work gloves, a printer for their paperwork that they have to do, and then paper. I mean, just general things like they have their uniform. They still need some plate carriers. They have their plates. You're saying, Greg, this is a war and they're going to the front. Yes, this is the reality of Ukraine, guys, and they need this help. So this is what we're looking at. And I'll take it a step further. These are the actual gloves that we're going to be purchasing. These are the work gloves, not the technical gloves they need for military. This is power charger systems. Of course, those are where the batteries go. There's 4 amps, there's 6 amps, all 20-volt systems, interchangeable screwdriver kits. There's the extension cord rolls, different drill bit sets for metal and concrete. You know what they're doing with that. Ratchet sets, grinders, interchangeable drills. This one, actually, they were showing me how it requested because it interchanges for something between a smaller head size than a larger head size, hammer drills, a different type of grinder. And if you notice, and that's another type of drill, all of these work on the same battery system. So these guys power up, they take all these batteries with them, and everything is interchangeable and working. These are the MTAC plate carriers. They have plates, need carriers.
Let me interrupt you for just
Kick it
a
all you
moment.
want,
So
man.
I put the link again. It's pinned, but I also put it again just now. Arthur, thank you for donating, but I refunded when you came to my PayPal. I want everything to go directly to Greg so he can get everything sorted out with what he's doing. Don't put anything in any of my links or anything. Just use this. I've already refunded you. Send that same thing right back to Greg. So thank you all for doing that. We're trying to be as efficient as possible. Okay,
Yes,
keep
and
going,
thank
Greg.
you, Arthur. So plate carriers, MTAC, you can see those are actually Ukrainian-made MTAC thermoses that they carry out food, soup, coffee with them. These are the like an EcoFlow, but this is the Ukrainian made. They like these much better than even EcoFlows, which are so famous. They work better in wet conditions. The EcoFlows start to short out actually because they're not designed for trenches. These work better. and soldiers are much happier with these. So we get them what they want. These are samples of shower packs. These are dry. It says Suhi douche, dry shower there, antibacterial wipes. We're
Oh, I want to
also,
double those.
oh yeah, oh
It's
yeah.
got some rough conditions of.
Okay, tires, huge
Yeah.
tires. Those are
I mean, this is unbelievable to me. How are they going forward without having these things? Like, how is that even possible? I guess I mean, it's like the old saying, like, wouldn't it be a great day if the Air Force had to have a bake sale and education had all? No, that's a that's a pretty bad day. I mean,
so
you want
in
them to have
general,
what they need too.
especially when new groups are deployed, they're building their inventory. It's not like the United States, where
Mhm.
if you're deployed as a unit, the United States also deploys its full supply shop. You just go and requisition what you need.
Right,
Well, it's difficult to requisition when there's A, nothing there, and B, there's no place to go for requisitioning. Now, let me
right.
explain to you about Ukraine. When units develop, they begin to develop supplies. Like when you look at like the Azov, and this is a part of what Ukraine is correcting, bringing these units all together into the core unit, they begin to develop supplies and requisitions. You have to remember this army is fighting a massive front line, and they are transitioning from a Soviet army to a Ukrainian army. Western mentality, Western thinking, provisioning, things that we would think of as normal. Okay, Ford, they should
Yeah.
have tires there. No, they need tires. Also, guys,
And this just hurts
Starlinks.
my heart that they need tires, and we need to be having a fundraiser so that they can have tires.
Starlinks, I'm already getting them in. I'm going ahead of the curve, guys. This is what, look at this. This is adaptive
You might need
systems.
to take the screen down because we can't see in the
Oh,
box.
let me do
So take
this
the screen
then.
down, open it.
Well, let's do this.
There you go.
We'll do this. So
There you
all in
go.
here is mini Starlinks, and then they take the Starlinks, they put them in what's a company called Adaptus here. It may be other countries as well. I don't know, but here in Ukraine's where we're getting them, they come in camouflage, or they can get them in black. They wanted camouflage. They mount to vehicles with the suction cups. They then have power banks connected. All this gear stuff is under this. This thing's heavy as lead, man. Everything is under there. And I'm messing it up now, but you can see. I'll have to fix it later.
Don't lose any pieces.
No, I'm not gonna lose any pieces, but I just messed the box up. So that comes with internal car charging systems, internal wiring, everything that's needed for it even to run when the power's down. If the power goes out of the car, the Starlink can keep running because it goes to a power system bank, then internal, really cool units. So this is what we're looking at. And this is once again for the sixth Rangers. And this is one of their flags. It's not the official flag, but this is one of the flags here. Um, you can see the angel and the
Yeah, like the Archangel.
yeah, Buti Paruch. And
Yeah.
basically what that says in Ukrainian is be near me, be close. So this is, guys, this is what we're doing. So I just want to thank you in advance. Now I'll take it to you a step further, and then we'll come back to it. We'll talk about the news a little bit. This is how Ukraine works, guys. We do everything by the book here. So my buddy who works here went and started working with the company, getting all of the documents, all of the numbers laid out. And this is just for some of the items on the actual mechanical. It's not the tires, it's not Starlinks, it's not the plate carriers. It's all this. This is just the tool section,
Yeah.
and getting it all ready. And what's cool about this is when we purchase this, and I'll start purchasing tomorrow. We will then have all the documentation with all the tools. And no matter where these guys are, whatever region, okay, they can come back off the front, and one of these stores are there back off the front, and they're
Mhm.
able to let's say a drill breaks. They have a guarantee and a warranty. They take it back, they get a new one. So this is
Hmm.
really, really cool the way we've set this up to work. So
Yeah,
I
how
want
much
to
are we
say
trying to
thank you.
get to for this very hurried up offense fundraiser?
$10 to $12,000.
Okay.
And I
So,
say that
and
because if we do 10, we can cut some of the things. If we go 12 or even more, we can get like all their numbers fulfilled. So that's the goal. So that's what we're looking for. And I'll be honest with you, I think in 24 hours between starting it with our live stream tonight joint and then
mhm,
tomorrow, if we're not there, I'll just drop it on one of my update videos. And then I take the PayPal address away. Please don't keep giving to my PayPal. These are only for situations like this. And the reason I do it this way is because we can instantly go and
mhm.
purchase immediately, not working through
Yeah,
another
yeah.
organization to go through all the paperwork. No, this is critical. These guys will be on position in 6 days. There's no other way. We can't sit here and do 2 months of paperwork when a guy doesn't have a plate carrier. So
Yeah.
it's just the way it is. All right, well, let's look at some things. And guys, we thank you in advance. Let me look at, whew, thank you to the mods. I know you're working hard. Um, let's do this, Prof. And thank you. I'm going to try to get to everything I can. I've got papers everywhere, but let's start looking at a little bit of stuff here that I'd like to discuss with you tonight. And we're going to go another 45 minutes or so, and then we'll see what we're at. So back to this. Oh, and you'll just see it, guys. So let's talk about this for a moment. This was a very large strike, and this morning. So if you guys were wondering, yes, I had some pretty good hardware flying over my head last night as it went further west and came directly over us en route. One thing, Russia put over 500 drones in the air again and launched a significant number of missiles and hit. Even though Ukraine was able to take down, and I know you and I both have already talked about this, I want to talk about one point. Um, this was a pretty strong attack, and there may be something you guys don't know, but all of those places where you see explosions, except the bottom left one, the bottom left is in the Transcarpathia region. It's in the mountains. It's beautiful. If you're from the United States, it looks like the Smoky Mountains or the Blue Ridge Mountains. That's what that region looks like. Um, we'll come to that one last. But all the other places, Lviv, Lutsk, Rivne, go to the east now. Sumy, Kharkiv. It was actually Pavlograd and then Dnipropetrovsk and then Zaporizhia. It was all gas infrastructure being hit. And I don't know what that tells you, but I can tell you what it told the Ukrainians today. The war's not going
Mhm.
anywhere. They're trying to
Yeah,
knock
yeah.
out the gas systems before winter.
Yeah, I have a comment here. David says, "I'd like to send some money, but I have no PayPal or Patreon. Is there another way to donate?" I suppose on the back side of this, you can get stuff to them later through your normal means
You
or something. I
can.
mean,
Um,
and this is just it just will take time if
yeah.
it's not going
You don't
immediately
have to have a
originally that way.
PayPal to donate on PayPal. You just click the link that's provided and it gives you different
All right.
options. Yeah. Another option
Yeah.
also is
Say that. Explain that again. Come full screen and explain that because people need
okay.
to
So
understand
the
that. I'm putting the
link
link
that
back
I've
up on mine.
provided, as you can see there, it's sorry, let me get to the right button here. It's for uh, the Greg Terry experience. And it when you click that link, it actually says, you can donate and it gives you options in ways to donate. You don't have to have a PayPal account to donate. So hopefully that helps. Ale writes, hello
It'll
from
bring you to the
Norwich.
website for that. You don't need to all you need to do is fill
No,
in your information and credit card and whatever else.
that's correct. The other option is buy me a coffee. That takes a little percentage where PayPal doesn't, but it's the most minimum, which is a 5%. No, I don't do Cash App. I'm so sorry. I'm trying to
Thank
keep it
you.
very
Thank you,
tight.
AI, for sending the just send $100 and use it the best way you can. And please, if you send it to me, I'm going to refund it and tell you to send it to Greg. So don't
Yeah,
send it to
it's
me.
going straight through this. Thank you guys. And I'll give you updates in just a few minutes. But while we're doing that, so thank you. I've got so many screens and stuff around me. I'm trying to keep up. I want to stay logical here. The hit in Makachevo, Prof, in the bottom left. Actually, it was an American uh, partner company with Ukrainians
Mm-hmm.
working. They supply Google and the Lenovo,
Mm-hmm.
um, one more big American company. So let me tell you
Microsoft,
guys,
Nike.
Microsoft, Nike, thank you, Microsoft and Nike. Um, this is, the images, and we've talked about it. If you saw my update video or Prof's earlier, um, this was a very massive hit, and I want to let you guys know something about this. There were 600 people working in this plant when this missile strike came. I watched Ukrainian news today. The director of the company, when the air alarms went off, you need to understand that the chance of that company being hit is
Yeah.
0.00001. I'm not exact on
Right.
that. Okay?
I made that same argument this morning because I was looking at this. I showed a little clip of what you did, and then
Mm-hmm.
I talked about it in another video. And so either Putin's precision missiles, which can fly 700 kilometers or 800 kilometers, are not really that precision, which I'm pretty sure he's not going to argue, or they intended to do that, which he's not going to argue, but he's not going to back away from how precision they are. They brag about that all the time. It didn't fly 700 kilometers, 800 kilometers for nothing.
No. And I just want you guys to be aware of what really happened. And try to give you the inside stories here. And as we're talking about that, here we go again tonight. Air alarms just going off in the very east. So we'll see what comes from that later tonight. But it's 3 o'clock in the morning. I was up when these missiles and shaheeds were going over my head that way. 7,000 square meters, more, it's huge, like 25,000 plus square feet. 600 people were working. The injury count is now 23. It has went up. But the director came on TV interview today and he says, we respond to every air alarm. A lot of companies don't because we're way out here. 600 people went to the bunkers.
Yeah.
If that company, and to be quite honest with you guys, this is pushing 4 years of war here, and air alarms are not what they were month 1 and month 6. It's the pressure now coming back on Ukrainians to get in the bunkers because the drones now are just as destructive as the missiles. And he came on, he says, we always obey them, even though it's been a challenge for us. And he goes, obeying them today saved a lot of people's lives. This would have been a massive.
Yeah. It would have been a catastrophe.
It would have been a catastrophe. So we'll
And that
leave
would
it
have been
at
management
that.
malpractice. They got to do something. And it's hard to wrap your mind around because it's so far, like 30 kilometers from the Hungarian border.
Yes.
Like you wouldn't think that this is going to be a target.
Makachev is a very famous Ukrainian town, just by the name of it, Makachev. And everybody knows about Makachev. So it's the Flex company that Russia
Keep saying
attacked
that.
today.
I'll eventually pronounce it right.
Makachev. It produced electronic devices, fitness trackers, health monitors, coffee machines, cooperating with Nike, Google, Lenovo, and others. Obviously, and this is what all the analysts have surmised today in Ukraine now, some 12 hours later, or more than that now, 18 hours. I've been rolling, yeah. Obviously, a Russian attack on a U.S. company deep into Ukraine's rear was deliberate and a clear signal of Russia's truce attitude towards U.S. and European peacemaking efforts. Previously, Russia has launched deliberate attacks on Polish and Azerbaijani companies like SOCAR, the fuel company, and conclusions must be drawn. Those are not my words. Those are the words just a little while ago from Anton Gerashenko. So anyway, it's something we need to pay attention to. In addition to that, have you paid attention to Lavrov today?
I have, but I was paying more attention to Trump, seeing if Trump was actually saying anything about it, and he's distracted with some other thing internally to the U.S. with
I think
his
he's walking the
cases.
streets of
He
DC
hasn't
tonight.
said anything yet. which is crazy that he hasn't said anything yet. Like, certainly somebody's got to be telling
Well,
him about this.
I would hope. I
Yeah.
will tell you though, there is some incredibly crazy rhetoric coming out of people like Matt Gaetz and others who are suggesting now heavily that the way to win this is to drop everything and invite Russia into NATO. Matt Gaetz on his show tonight, and I remind you, Prof, he was turned down to be
The attorney
in his
general.
cabinet,
Yeah.
the Attorney General of the United States.
For
Yeah,
corruption.
now he has a news program, and that's the Reddit. You guys go look it up. The video's everywhere. He just said it. Um, well, let's look at this first, and this may give us insight. We'll do this topic, and then I'll check how the fundraiser's going. Um, Russia backs. So Lavrov today met with India again. This is getting serious between the relationship
Yep.
between India and Russia, closer every day. They had a huge meeting today. Russia backs 2022 Istanbul security guarantees. I'm planning tomorrow to put out a video about that because I have all the talking points of the 2022 Istanbul. That's China giving security guarantees. That's no NATO. That's demilitarized. That is a change of the neo-Nazi regime. I mean, it's crazy. That's what they back.
Hmm.
He said today. He said, quote, everything else is a hopeless endeavor. He also added Europe is proposing foreign intervention on parts of Ukrainian territory, which is absolutely unacceptable for Moscow. So,
Yeah. He doesn't seem to worry about what's unacceptable for the West
no,
or for
no.
Ukraine. So, and you know, somebody made a point. I think was it Sean Pinner or who was it? And that made the point like, okay, so we're just dusting off demands, and at that time when those demands were made, Russia held 30% of the territory. And now it owns, well, temporarily rents 19%, and
Mm-hmm.
so yeah, they're and they've gotten even more demanding. So
Yeah, it's here's the only thing I would say to that. Okay, and this is coming straight from inside Ukraine. Yes, they basically hold the same amount of territory, but the level of devastation between February of 22 and August of 21st at 11:34 p.m. in Ukraine tonight is light years apart. You see,
yeah.
at that time, these cities were not leveled to the ground.
Hmm.
And so, yes, they haven't moved. Ukraine's defended well. There's been pushes and pushbacks, but Russia has completely scorched earth anywhere they're sitting that they are liberating. Um, Now, you asked, I'm wondering why Trump hasn't said anything. So, two things coming out this afternoon or evening. I don't know U.S. time, but it was like 3:35 East Coast. Um, just a little while ago, Trump posted a picture of himself pointing at Putin, and you see the interpreter there. Below is a 1959 picture of Richard Milhouse Nixon pointing at to Brezhnev, and it looks like the same interpreter. He must never age. I don't know, but okay. So I don't know. To me, it's just strange. Richard Nixon wasn't the president at that time. He was the vice president. He would not be president for another decade. But this is what's posted. So he's trying to communicate something. And then, secondly, he stated it is very hard, if not impossible, to win a war without attacking an invader's country. It's like a great team in sports that has a fantastic defense but is not allowed to play offense. There is no chance of winning. It is like that with Ukraine and Russia. Now, of course, he's got to go to this same narrative. Crooked and grossly incompetent Joe Biden would not let Ukraine fight back, only defend. How did that work out?
Well, the first
Regardless,
half was fine, but then he didn't finish it. Like,
correct?
he left us hanging, or I talked about this earlier today too. He left us hanging. Are you going to actually supply something? Because honestly, so I was talking to my son. We were driving to
Mm-hmm.
the university this morning, and I was talking to him saying like, "Hey, this just happened. They hit an American factory. Whoa, what are we going to do?" Well, that's the $1 million question, right? We
Exactly.
should be doing something. Honestly, what we should be doing is saying, calling Zelensky and saying, "Hey, here's our entire arsenal of long range weapons. They just hit one of our factories. What do you want?
Exactly.
How
Um,
far do you want it? How what exactly do you need? Because but I don't see that happening. That's what should be happening. There has to be a reply. I was just taking Poland to task for not doing anything about the drone that went 100 kilometers in there, and they my title was and they'll issue a memo or something like that. Well, they did issue a diplomatic protest. And, that and $5 will get you coffee. Like it's not going to do anything. And if we don't do anything, we encourage more bad behavior, and that's where we are.
well, I'm with you. This is probably the extent of what we're going to hear unless something changes because Boeing was also struck and heavily damaged in Kiev earlier this year. And of course, we had crickets on that. Now, I know that you've probably seen this. I'm in Ukraine time, so I'm sometimes ahead or sometimes behind. Let me get to the right button. Lindsey Graham now talking about kidnapped children. During the course of the Russia-Ukraine war, Russia has kidnapped over 19,000 Ukrainian children. Stealing children from their home country is a despicable and barbaric act. As I've been saying since earlier this year, I intend to push legislation to designate Russia a state sponsor of terrorism under U.S. law if they did not return the children. This designation will make doing business with Putin's Russia radioactive for any other countries and businesses. So, there's no talk of tariffs there, no talk of sanctions there. There's no talk of response, but he's then started talking about the children. And you know my opinion on Lindsey Graham. He talks a big
So I was
talk.
excited till I saw that it was Graham, right? Like finish one thing before you start talking about the next.
That's
Like I'm all
exactly
about
what I
this.
was hoping you would say.
Yeah.
What
Just
happened
get
to
to the
the?
sanctions. Do the
Thank you.
or do this. Either way. Just do the one thing. Don't just so in politics they get along, they get this like they get the mileage out of talking about the thing, not
Mhm.
solving the problem. This is the problem with politics.
It is, and so there is no way that the leaders of the United States did not know that a large American company partnership was hit today in Makachevo. It was not in Kharkiv. It was in Makachevo. You can't get any further. And if you're in here and you're watching tonight, the only further you can get than Makachevo is Chop. Okay. And for Ukraine, I'll give you guys a little bit of inside Ukraine story here. You can be driving in really anywhere in Ukraine, and like you could be in Kiev or you can be way out east, and you'll see a sign that'll say, okay, Kiev, 300 kilometers. What else would it say? Something like, Zhytomyr, 425 kilometers. And then it'll say Chop, 950 kilometers. Chop is a little teeny village right on the border of Ukraine, way out, as far west as you can get. So,
Mhm.
I mean, it's like a little inside thing that Ukraine likes to put on their mile or kilometer markers, mileage markers for how far it is away. They have these big cities, and then you'll see Chop. So there's no way the Americans didn't know about this. So we see that statement from Trump. We see that statement
Oh
from
no, they're
Lindsey Graham.
aware. They're just not. Now they have to figure out what they're going to do with it because they can't. It's going to foul with what they want to do. They
Correct.
want to, buddy, get closer, and this is thwarting him from doing that. And yeah, so it's very frustrating to watch. Very,
I want to
very
thank you
frustrating.
so far, guys. In about 35 minutes, we've already raised 4,000 US dollars toward the project, and I need
Awesome.
to add the buy me a coffee. So in 24 hours, we're going to hit 10,000, no problem, because of your generosity. If you're just arriving, because now a lot more folks are watching, we're not just doing a news update in chat, and we'll stay on another half hour or so, and we'll post this on our videos tomorrow. But we
So
are
the concurrent viewers are going to be different, right? Many of them are going to be different now than those that
correct.
popped in the very beginning. I mean, at least in my feed, I'm looking at how long they're spending here and how many they have and how So go through a mini commercial
Let's
showing
go
your
back real
slides
quickly.
real
So,
quick.
guys, we're doing an emergency critical fundraiser for. Let me get to here. And this is the 6th Special Purpose Rangers Regiment of Ukraine. This unit, not this particular unit, but the 6th Special Purpose Rangers, they're Army Rangers, they're special forces, were active, involved in the Kursk offensive into Russia, also the 2024 Kharkiv offensive. Now, a new unit being deployed to the front, and their actual arrival is in 6 days, where they're going to end up. And believe it or not, they are in desperate need of this list of things: power banks, shower packs, socks, grinders, hammer drills, screwdriver drills, plate carriers, technical gloves, Era Power we use, but for you guys it would be an Echo Flows, ratchet sets, extension cords, screwdrivers, drill bits, work gloves, printer, scanner, paper. These are just some of the images. I've already got the buy orders set up for tomorrow, and I'm going to be going and purchasing these things, so you can see. And there's lots of these units. So you see that one ratchet set, but I don't know what their number was on the list. But if you're here and just watching, this is actually the list that we received from the unit. And over on the right, they go, this would be great. However, you can help us. We need this many. So some you see 10 to 20 or 50 or 100. Two, like on the Echo Flows. So it's a multiple layer of things, and we're going to do as much as we can. The other thing is, if you're here and you're just joining the stream, or you're new to my channel or Prof's channel, and we partner all the time to help Ukraine. This is hand delivered. I'm in Ukraine, so I'm actually going tomorrow. Here's the purchase
you'll
order.
see it in the videos.
Yeah, you're going to be seeing it, and you're going to. If we can get to a safe place, you'll even be seeing these soldiers with me on a live. So just back through the images again. The link is in the description, a pin there. I know the mods are also dropping it. And thank you to the mods for such great work tonight. And it's also on Prof's channel, but you can see this is what we're doing, guys. And you may say, what do they need all these tools for? Other than weapons, these are the most important weapons they have. The ability to repair. They're building trenches and defensive lines, repairing cars, you name it. They're doing nonstop, 24/7. It's a war zone.
So let's just think about the logic of this, right? If they have these tools, they don't have to get out of the trench, go back across a minefield in the sky of drones trying to kill them in order to repair things. They can fix things where they are.
So
If
let's
they
make
don't
it
have these tools, now you're putting them in harm's way.
okay.
Right?
And
I mean, the
I'll give
lack
you
of these
guys
tools creates
an,
a condition where more people will die. Like all our fundraisers, we've been looking at like the humanitarian side of like initially tourniquets and bandages and things like that. The last was getting the larger drones so that they can ferry things back and forth. The fundraiser for the armored ambulances. We're trying to be maximally efficient with what we do in order to help them stay alive. Like that's the goal.
Prof, you nailed it. Okay. It is
Thank you.
so dangerous to get from your home where soldiers live, typically 20 kilometers from the front, maybe even more sometimes. And you say, well, they got to then get to the front. Yes. They go on these vehicles that are blown up all the time. So it's not like you just go to your position. Oh, well, they could just go at night. Oh, no, you can't go at night. Thermal drones. It is calculated when they go. So if you notice here, where has this unit been working? Kursk offensive. That's inside Russia, guys. Kharkiv offensive, right on the border, up Vovchansk area. This is the Rangers.
I wonder if night's not worse. And the argument that I would have is that they can still see you and you can't move nearly as fast as you otherwise would. I wonder if trying to move at night wouldn't be worse.
It's much more dangerous.
Yeah.
It's equally dangerous. Now, they're trying to develop all these thermal blankets and stuff to move, but honestly, they don't work that well. Thermal umbrellas to block the thermals, but soldiers can't move. They're carrying so much gear with them.
Right.
Guys, okay, I have a Bronic, my body armor, and I'll be wearing it when we head out to deliver this stuff. It's extremely heavy. And then if you add weapons, supplies, food, batteries, they're pack mules. This is why, if you notice here, where these guys have been fighting is the Sumy region, the Kharkiv region. Now they may be in the Donetsk region. They may be in another region. I'm not going to tell you, but you'll see these guys. But you see where they fight. Kursk, Kharkiv. These guys are in very, very difficult positions. So, Prof, you made a great point here, especially on the tools. These things, batteries, we're going to buy as many stinking batteries as we can buy for these guys in chargers. And then that connects to the, you say, well, what do they need that extension cord for? Okay, they're running them inside the trenches, guys, or they're using them also where they're repairing. And all these tools have interchangeable batteries. All of these, none of these are on electricity. So Prof nailed it by telling you guys completely accurate. And that's where this comes into play. These are charged up, they're taken to the trenches, and these are like echo flows if you're new, but these are Era powers built in Ukraine. Everything we're supplying also is Ukrainian, helping the Ukrainian economy as well. It's all about not moving. And then
Don't
any
pass over those
Starlinks,
wet wipes.
fires. Oh,
Somebody here on my channel was like, those are like gold. Imagine
they
the
are
conditions
gold.
that you got to be in here, and those things. Yeah, I
Okay.
can see the value. Buy more of
Well,
those if you have anything extra.
listen, we'll be loaded. The shower pack. So these are dry showers. Um, the guys want to be able to, be clean, and it's tough, man. I can't tell you guys right now. I could get another Ukrainian on here right now, but I can't tell you how many mosquitoes have infested Ukraine right now. It's horrible, horrible everywhere, everywhere. Tires, Starlinks. This is a good project. So thank you guys. The link is in the description on Prof in my video. You can also use my buy me a coffee. It only takes 5%. It's actually a good system platform. And
Please do not use my links. Use Greg's. Get it there
yeah,
efficiently. Not bypass me. I don't want to be the
I'm going to
middleman.
be purchasing tomorrow. This is why we do it this way and not through the nonprofit on this. Not asking you guys to give big chunks, asking a lot of people to give a little, and we're doing well. So, Prof, I want to look at this right quick. And I think it needs to be looked at. I will tell you guys this. You can now see when we started the stream, we were air alarm here. Now it's pushing on the Zaporizhzhia, Sumy, and into Poltava. And when you see it go into Poltava, I'll give you guys a little bit more insight here. When you see it go into Poltava, typically what that means is they're going to be going after energy grid, whether it's here in Poltava or over towards Kremenchuk. They're trying to absolutely devastate that region of Ukraine, massive amount of gas infrastructure that will be critically needed for this winter. So when you see Poltava light up, that's what you pay attention. We pay attention to, and we'll check it again before we sign off in a few minutes. Now, let's do this. I want to share a couple of things, Prof, right here. And we'll zoom in. I want to look at. A lot of people have questions, but we have a little problem developing in Konstantinivka, and I can confirm it for you guys tonight. So, first, since I'm talking about Konstantinivka, let's just look at it. Konstantinivka, is that looking good for you guys? I'll get it better for you. Okay. I think that's the best way to look at it. Kramatorsk, Druzhkivka, Konstantinivka, and this way is Slavyansk. This is the fortress belt. So Russia's been really pushing the narrative that they have already got positions up into the southern section of Konstantinivka this way. Guys, this is how you, let me take the arrows off now. This is how you, I'm going to make it a little bigger and change the color for us. This is how you go to Chasiv Yar, and this is how you go to Bakhmut. There's one road. Of course, Bakhmut fallen and destroyed. Now Chasiv Yar also. Um, but Russia, and it's confirmed from even some Ukrainian sources that I trust completely. And why do I trust them? Because they're right there. Okay. This section of Konstantinivka right now is becoming critical. Russia is putting DRG units. And if you wonder what that section of Konstantinivka looks like, it has some large buildings in it, but basically it looks like urban neighborhoods with lots of streets and homes. Now, guys, all of this area here in southern Konstantinivka has been shelled and it's decimated. In fact, you guys may know there was a very famous Oko gas station that President Zelensky
Mhm.
went to in Konstantinivka. I've been there many, many times. It's right here is where it's at, and that has now been destroyed as well. I can also confirm for you that Ukra Poshta, Ukra Poshta. So think about it. Poshta, mail, Ukra, Ukraina, Ukrainian mail has left Konstantinivka. So keep your eyes on Konstantinivka. The best thing that could happen right now is we get some rain, to be honest with you. You doing okay over there?
Yeah, no, I'm trying to reply to somebody who gave and put the chat link back in here, the PayPal. I'm sorry, I was doing that.
No problem.
Someone just gave you €50,
Well,
and I
thank
couldn't
you.
figure out how to refund it, so I'm going to be passing you €50.
Okay,
Or
no problem. Um, Now, uh, thank you guys. We're now at
I'm grateful for the €50 for the project. I'm just trying to
yeah,
be as little of the middleman as possible. That's all.
we're now pushing $6,000. And
That's
just so
awesome.
you guys can see, I want you to see everything we're doing is legit, right? There's 5,200, and we're pushing almost 800 in Buy Me a Coffee. So that's where I'm getting it. So we're getting there. We're going to make it easily by tomorrow, and we say thank you. Pokrovsk, Russians have entered into the center of Pokrovsk.
Hmm.
And
That
you could,
salient's been there for about a week, and
it
I'm not sure
has.
how much worse it's getting.
It's there are more in there.
Yeah.
There are more in there. I just can't tell you how, everything about it, but they've taken up positions right in the dead center. Now, they're
Mhm.
surrounded by Ukrainians and they're going to get most likely eliminated. Unfortunately, what Russia does and is doing right now is they'll send the 3 or 4 in, 2 will get
Yeah.
eliminated. They're sending 3 or 4 more in, 2 will get eliminated. Now they have 4 there. And those numbers, unfortunately, pushing in that center line are building.
Yeah.
Ukraine still holding strong, but it's a little critical there. Now, Ukraine did push back up here where Russia made that push on Dobropilia to the east of it.
That was the
Um,
bunny rabbit ears.
it was. It was the bunny rabbit ears. But what they're trying to do is get around this town here, which is Dobropilia. Dobropilia pre-war 14,000. I've been in Dobropilia at least 50 times during this war, sitting right in the center street, eating pizza with civilians and soldiers. And now those places are completely destroyed. This has been, well, to be quite honest, and I don't mind telling you guys because now there's nothing we can do about it, but our route always, always has been uh, Pokrovsk. We come down, we come through Pokrovsk, Mirnograd, we rotate this way, just like that, and we head to Konstantinivka. Then from Pokrovsk, we would go this way down to support Karakova. So I want you to think about all these towns that are now occupied and leveled. Zhenya and I've been in so many of them that are now gone and helped soldiers and spent the night there. And it's nowhere to the level of a frontline soldier and what they deal with. But for me, my heart begins to ache because these are
Mhm.
dozens and dozens of towns, and these are not all little teeny villages, guys. And now, all these black lines, I mean, everywhere, all these places we've been driven helping guys, and
And
now
yet, for
it's
the
all
sake of
red.
perspective, we need to remember hold on, for the sake of perspective, and you're absolutely right.
Mhm.
And at the same time, there's another right perspective, and that is what Trump was told by Zelensky the other day of like, yeah, and in 1,000 days they took 1%.
That's
So
correct.
it's not. I mean, it seems like so overwhelming, and I'm sure it is. But at the
Only
same
in
time,
pockets. Only in
yeah, yeah,
pockets. This is
yeah.
a pocket where it's overwhelming. And this is a key pocket. And the reason it's overwhelming is because if I come back to here and we look at pockets only, okay? Just so you guys are aware, you remember how long we talked about Karakova
Long
and
time.
the battle for Karakova? You know where Karakova is? Right here now.
Yeah.
That's That was the fortress for Ukraine.
That was this time last year or so, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. Fall of last year. But and I know you look and go, okay, Veliki Novosilka. These are good-sized towns, and we've been in all of them and helped them. So for me, it's more of a personal. Yes, Ukraine
Yeah, I'm
defending
sure.
crazily, but I just think about, all these towns you go in before it's occupied or liberated, not Russian liberation, Ukrainian liberating it back. Um, you get to know people. I think about the people that were sitting in their streets, the grandmas and the grandpas, the lady that was working in the convenience store, the people in the streets at that time. Of course, very much less. But still, I go, okay, where are those people? Hopefully, they're out. And then I think about so many homes with soldiers that we've sat in. I've live streamed, okay, live streamed from right there. You see that? Yeah,
Well,
remember the
that's
fundraiser
gotta be
we,
a very weird experience
buddy?
given what you just said, yeah.
The fundraiser that we did with Wasp. I can tell you now, Wasp is gone. He's alive and well, fighting, completely different location. And a lot of you that have been with me a long time, that's where we did a fundraiser, just like we're doing tonight. This is the third impromptu fundraiser we've done.
Mhm.
But that's where I was live streaming with Wasp, sitting right there. So it's just
Yeah.
sometimes
Hey,
it's a
it
little
strikes
challenging.
me that there's probably a different crowd now, so on the other side of
Let's do
this,
it.
quickly,
No, no, I wanted to
recap.
only discuss Pokrovsk and Konstantinivka for people. Everywhere else, Ukraine doing good, holding the line. The only places that I would say are a little bit of a challenge right now is right here. That's Kupiansk. We also have a little bit of a push right here on Siversk. Ukraine holding the line in Kharkiv, Ukraine holding the line in Sumy. In fact, it was
Not just holding, they're pushing on it in
they are
Sumy.
pushing on it, but it was President Zelensky today. To be fair, he said, "Give us a couple of months, and we can clear out Sumy." And that would be very important to get the Russians out of the Sumy region. So
Yeah.
let's go
Then you
back.
can't talk about trading Sumy for Donetsk. What kind of crazy talk was that?
It's nuts. There's no
Yeah.
reality to it whatsoever. Let's do this one last time, and there's one more thing I want to look at tonight with us, and then we'll go forward from there. And we thank you guys. We've got a great start. I'll post the link maybe one more time. And guys, okay, please hear me, and for Prof's channel as well. Once we're done with this, and it may be tonight or it may be tomorrow, like on the first video, please do not donate to that PayPal anymore. That's not the way I work. This is only when we do critical fundraisers here. We always work through our organization here inside Ukraine, Napram. But now, when you have a unit that needs stuff, it takes us weeks and weeks or months sometimes to do all the paperwork to get stuff moving. So this is just a quick one. All right. So if you're just joining us, thank you first of all. But we've been on for an hour, and I'm trying to find out where this is. Let's do that, Prof. So we're just doing a shock the frontline impromptu slash critical fundraiser tonight for certain equipment that the 6th Special Purpose Rangers Regiment of Ukraine, that is their patch. Um, Guys involved in the Kursk offensive, Kharkiv offensive. I've already met with 2 of the leaders of this group, one 4 months ago, one week ago, and they came with an emergency request. Greg, Zhenya, we're actually going to be on positions on the 27th of August in 6 days, and we're desperate. We're desperate for these things, and it's power banks, socks, dry showers, and then a lot of tools, grinders and everything here is battery operated, hammer drills, screwdriver systems, plate carriers. They have plates, and if you're going, what are they eating on plates? No, plates, body armor, thermal cups, military thermos, military technical gloves. Those are the gloves. Many times the fingers exposed in the hard plastic on the top for protecting their hands. Wet wipe packs, echo flows, ratchet sets, extension cords, screwdriver sets, drill bit sets, work gloves, printer, paper. They're setting up their entire system there where they're going. So this is some of the stuff I've already set up over the last few days. This is our purchase order, and we'll be going tomorrow to purchase. It'll take me a couple, 3 days to get all that purchased, and then Jane and I'll be rolling out next week. But you can just see how important these are. Prof was talking about that. The ability to have portable power, extension cords, manual screwdriver, battery screwdriver, drill bits for concrete, drill bits for metal, drill bits for wood, of course, ratchet sets, grinders, interchangeable drills, hammer drills. It's a different type of grinder they use there as well. Another type of drill. All these have different jobs and things they do. Plate carriers, thermos. This is like an EcoFlow, but this is made in Ukraine. This is by Era Power. The soldiers prefer this over EcoFlow. It does better. It's better in wet conditions, cold conditions, and we have all of that coming. Shower packs, wipes, tires, Starlink, mini Starlink kits. One of those is sitting at my feet right now that I've already procured, and we'll get more if we can. And this is vitally important because these guys, yeah, you say, well, do they have bullets? And yes. They have food.
Yeah. So
Yes.
we were talking
These
earlier, and I
are,
said,
yeah, go.
yeah, I said, like, you don't want these guys having to travel back for something like you need power tool or something, and you're in harm's way. It made me think of the Benjamin Franklin bit. He wrote, "For want of a nail, the shoe is lost. For want of a shoe, the horse was lost. For want of a
Mm-hmm.
horse, the rider is lost. For being overtaken by the slain enemy, and all for want of the care of care about a horseshoe nail." Like, you want them to have everything that they need where they are and don't have to face drones to get back and forth, hunker down with all the stuff. So
Okay,
let's
let's
get
make
them
it
the stuff.
plain and simple. All these things, I mean, even that, antibacterial wipes, power,
Especially that.
plate carriers, all these tools, they save Ukrainian lives.
Yep.
And these guys, I know exactly where they're going, and I can't tell you, but it's difficult. And this is why these requests are so specific in the tool area and the battery area, because they need the ability to stay and not move. I also will let you guys know that the weather here is changing. We're having rain right now for the first times, and tomorrow. The temperature is supposed to start changing. The leaves are already coming off the trees a little bit. And when it gets wet, cold, it's another reason not to come off position. But we want to thank you in advance. I want to say thank you to the moderators who have been helping. I see all of you guys chatting here. Let me go over and do this. Let me go back to this view, Prof, and then
I was laughing because Cheryl said, "Congratulations, nobody swore through the whole stream." Well, that wasn't between you and me.
The probability of having any swearing going on a joint Prof and Greg stream is slim to none. Now, let me say this. I want to get to a certain image, and I'm going to tell you something right now, guys. Sorry. There. Let me go over here and grab these really quick here. Okay, and I'm gonna make I'm gonna do something else. Thank you guys. So here's what we're gonna do. I need to go back and grab this. Julie Valaday, €10 from or £10, I'm sorry, from Antrim, North Ireland. Well, thank you for that. Never miss a video or live. Discovered your channel and became a member. Slavia Ukraini forever. Julie, thank you so much. Dunk on you 23. One of my great mods. Working but listening. $20 super chat. And gifting 10 memberships. Bombi 1138. $5 super chat. F Oink. Hungarian francs 400. Russia for never. Papa Dutch. Member 18 months, make Russia insignificant again. Dutchy, €11.99 for a baby flamingo. Listen, those things are legit. Papa Dutch, $5 super chat. You sent 20 USD to Greg. We'll let Greg know how you sent it. Tell us how this transaction went. Papa, thank you. And for sure, Big Sweet Dekve. Awesome mugga hat, Prof. You get an awesome mugga hat. And that's coming from Sweden. Swedish kroner 100. Thank you. Greetings from Sweden. James Paulak, $20. Sorry, not sure how to use PayPal. No problem. I'm going to make a statement on that in just a second. James Paulak, thank you. Susan Yantha, Canadian, $13.99. Ukraine, we stand by you. Petra Olsen, Swedish non-smoke. Petra Olsen, Swedish non-smoking initiative. Yes, I was listening to Yana last night. Zach, remember. Thank you, sir. Welcome. Papa Dutch, another $20. Get some extra drill bits. Guess how I know? Probably because you've broken some drill bits with all the drilling that you do there, sir. Will do. Mark Bisque, Canadian, $13.99. Having trouble with PayPal, sending coffees, if that's okay. Perfectly acceptable. Thank you. And I can get that quickly as well. Crazy D, £20. Love from Lancashire, UK for the needed items. Tito Valenzuela, Slava, Ukraina, Grom, Slava, Greg. I hope we can get our heroes to help. Do Peramoga, $19.99. Tito Valenzuela from Honduras. Steve Fowler, greetings from Georgia, USA, $50. Hope this helps all the defenders. It will. Mark Bisque, Canadian, $13.99. I'm stuck in some PayPal loop and looking for the buy me a coffee link. Want to help? Any suggestions? Mark, just send me a message and I'll help you, and thank you. And let Elena know, and Mark, I'm heading that direction. Those are great supporters from Canada who also big supporters of Johnny, but I have visited Elena's parents twice, and they live in dangerous areas in here in Ukraine. Linda H, $50. I donated on PayPal, but use this for treats for Kirill and soldiers, please. Okay, I need to speak to that, and I will. Claudia Dobson, $69.99 Canadian. Will do, Claudia. That's going as well. Papa Dutch 5. Drones do not fly over Poland for 2 hours by accident either. Any thoughts on that one, Prof? While you're working, can you multitask?
No, they don't fly by accident. This was very clear. It's very calculated. If we're talking about the big hit on the American factory, that was clear. Everything was and you have a horrible choice between either your missiles and drones are not that good or you meant to do it, and I think they meant to do it.
listen, regardless, there's no statements. Okay, very little. And it's just, yeah, of course. Man, of course. Do you know how many drones have flown over Ukraine? The tens of thousands, and one gets over there. Come on. Ministry for the Recovery of Stolen Toilets, Australian 5. Privet, Greg. And Darren, PayPal playing dumb. You said plate carrier. My mind went to a TV dinner tray. Yes, that is a plate carrier. LOL. Yes, I know it is. Glory to the heroes. Thank you, my friend, Ministry for Recovery of Stolen Toilets. Joey T, 10 quid. Sending love from the UK. Greg, you're a legend. Prof, I want your hat. Make Ukraine great again. Your hat getting some love tonight. Cats, £5. Bravo, Steve Sane, Australian 5. Thank you immensely to the super mods. Yes, thank you to the mods again. Tito Valenzuela coming back in for Kirill 1999. I'll explain it all to you guys in a minute because so many of you are new on Kirill. Papa Dutch, 5. Crooked and grossly incompetent Donald Trump even stopped Joe Biden's help. That's a good point, Papa Dutch. F. Oink, Hungarian Franks, 4,000. Trump won't protect U.S. businesses. He'll yell at Zelensky for not protecting it. Correct. Nunu, 11. Nunu. Okay. I've got to.
What's
Can
the
you
matter?
say something? I've got to get the magnifying glass out. Dude, it's bad.
That's because we're getting old, man.
New, 120 euros for the project tonight for our brothers and sisters. Thank you for that. F. Oink, Hungarian Frank, please hit like 400. Big Swede, Deck Vase, Swedish Kroner 100. Wonder why NATO does not get the boots on the ground. Latest breach, we're in Poland. The drone even explodes. I think it's the 4th time since 2022. I think that's correct. And I think the response, we spoke to that on the other one, Big Swede. They scared of Putin for some reason. I'm just going to say it the way it is. They're scared of him. Matthew Bent, talk is cheap, and we've heard enough of it. Australian 30.99. People in Ukraine are being murdered daily by Putin. Slava Ukraini. That is the truth. Bomb of the night. Ruth, 49.99. Thank you. Going to this project. F. Oink, Hungarian 2,000 francs. Time to put money where mouth is. Donation time. Mitch Ashdown, Canadian 100. Man needs tools. That's a comment. Ruth, $49.99. Again, thank you. David Lee, $100. I think Mr. Gates would say the way to prevent defeat is to go directly to surrender, technically. Yes. And how scary it is. He was highly in the running to be the Attorney General of the United States.
Yeah.
Jay Moore, 1999. Thank you, Greg, for all you do. You are a hero. No, I'm not a hero. We're just a funnel for all of us to help the heroes.
We're just a conduit.
We're just a conduit.
Help connect the dots.
My only advantage I have is I've worked here for 28 years inside Ukraine, and I know it like the back of my hand, and I love it and want to be able to help and support. I'm seeing some orange on the stream. If you guys are getting a spin, hang on there a second. F. Oink, Hungarian Franks can't go that small. Big Swede giving a super chat, a 50 super chat. Who's with me? Papa Dutch, $2. I wish Ukraine had hovercraft. Now, this is what I want to say, and we'll start to close out.
Refresh here if you're to the end, because there may be some more coming in.
Yeah, I'm refreshing everything right now.
Okay.
I want to get to one last topic, and it may not be talked about a lot outside of Ukraine, but inside Ukraine, it's talked about a lot. Yeah.
By the way, you'll see on the list that there's that I have sent you what was sent to me clearly here, because I don't want to be the middleman, but I couldn't figure out how to reverse it.
That's okay. Thank you. Papa Dutch 2. I don't see a Sawzall. They don't. Well, they do. You know what, Papa Dutch? Why don't I just add a Sawzall as a bonus? And I'm having internet connectivity.
You always need one of those.
In Ukraine. Gordon Bogan, Swedish Kroner 200. Sorry, I'm late. Bombsheller gifting 20 memberships. Thank you, Blonde Bombsheller. Doing a great job modding tonight. Julie Valade gifting 5 memberships. F. Oink, Hungarian Frank, 2,000 gents. You don't need to wear a cape to be a superhero. Richard Jerkelin, Norwegian kroner. A little here and a little there will be enough. Yes, this is what we're doing, guys.
Trent,
This is just a lot of people helping a lot, and
exactly right.
so we want to say thank you. The last thing I want to share with you, and I'll check the numbers. It may not be a big story outside of Ukraine yet. I mean, I know you've talked about it on some of your updates. I have a lot. But inside Ukraine, this is becoming a very big story, and Ukrainians are paying attention to this like crazy. And that is Iran. And now Iran and China getting closer. And there's just like Ukrainians have no fear.
You mean Iran, or you're talking about India?
I'm sorry, India. Thank you. Been talking
Yeah.
for an hour and 15 minutes. India. These relationships are growing, and Ukraine is paying attention to it because this is not beneficial for Ukraine if Russia, India, and China continue to grow closer and partner more together. That's just where Ukraine is.
Well,
And
Russia and India have been cozy mostly as a result of India and China not being adversarial over decades. So that's kind of a security blanket for each other. So that's historically the way it's been. So if you could have had those sanctions kick in without everything that blew up last week and then pull India away from Russia, that would have been a coup. That would have been really,
yes,
really important.
and that's it, guys. It's 12:20 here. My internet was struggling there for a while. Of course, it is Ukraine. Um,
All right. So tomorrow morning, you'll update me on where we are so I can
yes,
update people as well.
yes, I'll be ahead of you. Let me give all of you guys an update right now. We are approaching 7,000 on PayPal. Thank you so
Mhm.
much. And here's what we're also going to do. We're also at 1,000 on Buy Me a Coffee. So that puts us at 7,800, and 1,000 have come in on Super Chats. Now, here's what I'm going to do. Ukraine. YouTube takes a bigger cut of that. I'm going to personally make up the difference on that. You guys have donated tonight for a special project. And I know that it's easy, as difficult as it is, sometimes it's just easier to hit that super chat. No problem. I'm going to cover it because every penny you guys gave tonight is going to get to these heroes. So we are approaching $9,000 in an hour and 15 minutes and getting towards our $10,000 goal. So thank
That's
you. I think
awesome.
by the
Thank you so
morning,
much.
I think by the morning, people are watching this later.
Yeah.
We'll be there, but tomorrow. So how do we end from here? This is how we end. First of all, thank you, everybody. What we do now is, because a lot of you are new, our channel, both of our channels have grown significantly since even other events we've done like this. Okay, now what happens tomorrow? I will be purchasing all this stuff, and we will be gathering it. Jania will be working on other stuff that we'll be purchasing, like he'll be working on the plate carriers and all of that. We'll gather all these supplies over the next 2, 3, 4 days, and then we head. I've already told you, you get a little hint. These guys are on position the 27th. So we have to calculate when we arrive for them. And of course, it always depends on how the war is going, too, how best and safest to do that. So we'll gather all that. We'll be updating with normal videos or lives as we do normal. After this video, the PayPal will come down. Don't donate to that anymore, please. And it's only used for this critical project. And then you'll see all this stuff delivered, plus a lot more stuff. And we'll be posting crazy videos once we're out on the front with the heroes. So,
And we'll look
that's the
forward
plan.
to it. So
Absolutely.
thank you for your time, folks. Thanks for your
Yes, thank you so
generosity.
much. Huge
We really
thanks to the
appreciate it.
mods. I know it's a lot of work and stress when things like this are going. Sorry, guys, we couldn't maybe answer questions and so much tonight, but I'll do another live in a few days, and we'll do a Q&A and see where we're at. A lot more is going to unfold this weekend. So thank you to everybody at Profs community. Thank you everybody here. We appreciate each and every one of you. And tomorrow we'll give you another financial update, and then you'll see the deliveries. Thank you for trusting us. Thank you for trusting us. And thank you for supporting Ukraine.
You got to hit the button to turn it off.
I do. But I thought for sure a man wearing a MUGA hat definitely wants the last statement.
And we've already spent a lot of words.
There you have it.
Let's
All
let
right,
them go
guys.
home
We'll
to their
update you
families.
tomorrow. Stay in here for 1 minute, Prof.
Slava Ukraini!